Right, you join me outside the wife's Focus CMAX, and I'm going to be replacing the cabin filter. I've done a bit of YouTube research, and it appears that there's many ways people tell you to do this. I'm going to try and find the easiest way. Fingers crossed. Okay, I'm in the passenger side footwell, and if we look up underneath the footwell, you find these two yellow clips, 1 and 2. You drop them down and you find the fuse box. Now again, up here next to the yellow things either side, you've got one twist to drop and another one here. Twist it, drops. The fuse box drops down. Now if you wiggle this around a little bit, it will come out. There we go. Please excuse this rather haphazard phone charger. It was about the only option we had at the time. Okay. There's a few guides that say to pop this green plug out. I'm going to try and do it without doing that. At the back you'll see there is 2 nuts. One of them appears to have an earth on it. Oh, I put that there. And the cabin filter itself is in this corner here. So we've got to get this bracket at the back off. So I'll get some tools in there, see if we can do it. A couple of long extensions. Gets me back onto that nut. More time goes on, the more my brain remembers. I actually put a second nut on there to give me an earth, so I can have me a USB port on the dashboard to charge my phone for sat-nav reasons. So I have to take that one off as well, but generally it will just be those 2 nuts, and we'll see what it looks like in just a second. Okay, let's focus this in here. There we go. Right, 1 nut, 2 nut, they're both off. This bracket should now drop down behind here, and all we are left with up the side here, you can see past the wiring, there should be a couple of these nuts, but I have a feeling this has been done before. That one down there is clearly missing. We've got 1 to undo there. There might be another one at the top. Once I've got that undone, we'll see what it looks like. But again, it's like, well, the bracket just drops out from behind. It does go this way up. It looks like it had been a little bit twisted in a previous attempt, so I might have to straighten it out a bit, but here's what it is. But yeah, we're up there. Okay, and if you can see up there, I've got a little tiny socket, and it's a 7mm convenient size. I only have to crack it, and I can wind that out by hand. Let's see if this cover comes off. There we go. There we go. And cabin filter. Oh, that's seen better days, hasn't it? Slides out into this space here. I was hoping I'd be able to get by without getting this green plug out of the main circuit board, but it does appear that's not going to work. Plus my USB cable is currently in the way, but I think these cables up here are going to block it, so I'll it might be these 2 plugs, that green plug and the one next to it. I think I'll just figure out how to pop them out and get this USB cable out of the way, and then we'll see where we're at. Right, I've just consulted the YouTube, I've consulted Google, I've looked around, and yeah, I have got to get these plugs out. There's a black one here. There's a little push button in the top. Just literally push the button in, wiggle the plug around, and out it comes. That's that one out of the way. No idea what that one's for. And the green one, the manual says, squeeze the clips on the top, grab hold of a cable, and pull. I'm assuming there's some kind of release mechanism, but it is tricky. So Is it this whole green block, or is it... The trouble is it's moving around as well. Let me get a screwdriver in and try and pry it a little bit. He says hopefully. Nope. It looks like squeeze them. Is it that bit? Ah, okay. You squeeze the black bits at the top, and you can see it in there. If I get it in there a bit better. Okay, this whole top bit actually, there's two black clips, one other side. Your fingers in the top, and wiggle it up, and it releases the plug. Okay, so there. Is it the lever up, or are we wiggle what we're looking at? Go back on there, squeeze, lift. Do I then pull the whole green thing off? What are you? I'd assume this black bit comes out the way. Ah! Push it back, and it helps to lift the whole lot out. Okay, you see that here? There's this whole mechanism. You squeeze the two clips at the top, lift it away from the body, and it actually has a mechanism underneath that removes it. So that's out the way. Let's get the rest of this filter out. Well, that's seen better days. Yuck. Okay. So, quality replacement parts as per ever. There's no point fitting cheap parts, is there? Might as well get a good one because it's a crap job. New versus old. That they are the same size. Is there a direction? It says on the top, if you can see it up there. If I can get that close enough. Where are we? I might have to change this around, hang on. On the top of this filter, it does say airflow that way. So I'm going to make the assumption that it goes in like this, the airflow being from the outside to inside the car. It would make sense, but sometimes things that make sense aren't always correct. But we shall try. So I can get this propped in here again so you can see. Yeah. You see that? Okay. Oops. Let's get that up here. Airflows that way. Incidentally, this is the charcoal type of filter I decided to go for because that should help to eliminate odours from outside the car from coming in. So a bit of a pinch and a squeeze to get it in place, but there it goes. Okay, you see this is supposed to have, so it was that one's one in, it's supposed to have probably 4 screws in here. Mine only had the one. It just hooks in the back and it goes flat down. I suppose you probably only need one, but you know, let's get that back in there. There we go. Push shut and then wind my screw back in. I'm only going to do this by hand. I don't think there's any point going really tight. It's only a plastic case. It's unlikely to fall out. Right. So while I've got that green plug out of the way, I'm going to slide my bracket back round behind. Handily, it's got an up arrow on it to tell you which way it goes up. There we go. That goes like that. So we have one on there, one there. Alright, let's again whiz them up by hand because they are a nylock nut. They're not going to come undone, they're not under any kind of twisting or rotational forces sitting back there in the engine bay, in the footwell. Oh, that one's gone quite tight, so get the ratchet on that. Oh, that's gotten tight because it is tight. One, we'll nip that out of the way now. Why not? It's in my hand. There we go. Okay, let's get this green plug back in. Push it on the top and slide the black clip down. It pulls itself in as long as you've got it lined up. That was quite easy, that. This plug went next to it. There we go. Right, let's take stock and make sure I've not forgotten anything. If there's anything missing. Okay. Right, I'm going to sort out the proper terminal for my earth. All I'd done was I wound 2 washers on, squashed the wire in between them. Effective, but a bit crude. But it's all I had at the time. So I'm going to go and find a crimp terminal so that I can just wind this nut over the top on that pin back there for an earth point for my charger. I should be back. Okay. Let's just trim that down a little bit. I appreciate not everyone out there has a degree of understanding of let's cut that off and do that better. That's some rubbish. Of auto electrics, but if you do any kind of work with a crimp connector, I highly recommend getting a ratchet crimp tool. So I stripped my cable back, pushed it in, it's just visible on the end there, and then in it goes. One, I'll get the other end of it, make sure it holds the other end, make sure it holds the cable. So there we go. So how's this looking? That's all good up there. I'll post this over the back. I'm going to post it over my terminal. I'm just going to wind a second nut down over the top of it so that it's grounded to the body, so that the USB works. There. Wind it on by hand. Top. Okay, now this is a fiddle. There is a hook either side, and it's a big white block on each corner. You can see it down here. And it is a bit of a fiddle to get them both up and into place. But, you know, you've come this far. I know you can do it. Off you go. One up there. Another one out and round. Now the forward position allows it to drop. There should be a back position that allows it to go up. Make sure everything's tucked up there nicely. Because I think mine's been fettled with at some point, I have to wiggle this around a bit. Is it that one? Or is it this one? There we go. Wiggle it round. Quarter turn twist locks. There we go. So everything's up where it should be. The earth terminal is nice and tight, crimped on there, everything else is out of the way. And then finally we put our cover back and the 2 push-up yellow clips. This is 2. There's the other one. There it is. There you go. And then just tuck the edges around your carpet to hold this up. It might look rubbish while you're down here, but effectively when you're sitting in the car, you can't see it anyway. But there we go. That is how to replace the cabin filter on a 2007 Ford CMAX. I believe this is the Focus CMAX, so it's 03 to 07. So there you go. Any other information I'll try and put in the description. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.